things about the Facebook page is we get great letters and emails and messages from parents about their children's teachers.
And this week's Excellent Educator was nominated by a parent of one of her students, and she says that is the ultimate compliment.
Oh, I hate when they cry like that.
Yes,
I think that's what every parent wants for a teacher, right?
Yes.
Is to care about your kid as much as
Yes,
you do.
yes, and Mrs. E is all of that. She's also taught English language learners. She says half of her class speaks something other than English when they're at home. So the previous experience with EL helps kids. Now, I was most moved when she told me of her comfort zone. So she's truly, I mean, every day she just wants to be the best that she can be for those kids, and it shows.
That's the kind of bar you want your teachers to set. You want them to have that passion and have that love for their student.
So it is interesting to hear what an outside group that had experience attending class, attending school in our country thinks about it. First blush, when you hear this, Allie, you think like, geez, I guess, like, what's the problem?
Well, it's a really small sample size. Just 259 people were surveyed in this study. But when I think about it, I think about who are the people that are coming to this country to get schooling at a high school age. More than likely, it's the elitists of their country.
For sure.
Their parents can afford to send them here. So maybe they are more likely to be more successful, or maybe they are more likely to actually take their school more seriously, too.
Well, and I think a lot of times, too, when we think about a study abroad experience, it's also to go and just get immersed into that culture. So to come and really, you know, perfect their English or become a little bit more...
You studied abroad in college, right?
I did in college, but I also think that you take a lighter class.
You were just screwing around the whole time,
Not
right?
true.
Come on.
I had quite a bit of fun, but we're talking about high school. This is very, very different than college students who go abroad, I think.
The college students studying abroad are studying abroad, as far as I can tell, is what the guys are studying. So look, to come here and take part in the high school exchange program, it costs $16,000, right?
Wow.
Right in the get-go. Now, some kids get scholarships, but 259 kids, these classes are harder or easier than what's in my home country.
And they're all from different
I just find
countries,
that very difficult.
too. Like, this wasn't from one specific country.
Correct,
It was all over the world.
Well, and I think, too, it's important to note that when we're looking at headlines like this, it's important to know the meat of this. And the meat is it costs $16,000 and only 259 people were surveyed.
I do think, though, that there are some nuggets from this survey that, so, you know, what can you do?
Maybe a bigger sample size next
Could
time.
you tell
for
us
the
more
survey?
about, like, what your study abroad experience was?
I will tell you about the weather.
By Jed Schlegel-Milch, who joins us, and thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Jed, I'll start with you first. You're from St. Louis Park, and you're a videographer turned filmmaker for this.
Yep.
Why did you want to tell these stories?
Well, the brain injury
Are also part of that suffering as well.
Absolutely.
You brought some of the masks that people who have suffered have made.
So made a mask during this journey. What does that mask stand for to you? And it's right here. We have it here in studio.
Yeah, well, to me, it just kind of stands for just my...
That this project raises.
We're really hoping this reaches out to...
And thank you for putting the effort into telling this story, because it's an important one to tell.
Well, during our last Make-A-Wish Miles Drive, we introduced you to Vicky.
Yeah, you might remember her, 16-year-old from Minneapolis who wanted to go to space camp here in this field. So she basically treated the space camp wish kind of like a high-level at space camp at NASA, and she hopes to pursue that after
Did she ask for a lot of business cards?
You know, I'm sure she got some emails, yeah.
With the condition that she has, I mean, so she gains weight so quickly, is it painful what she goes through?
Yeah, stabbing her once this pops up, and you know, she's got the EpiPen.
Stress in the body, sure.
Yeah, she's got the EpiPen to fight it as well. So.
I'm glad she was feeling better to get to go on the trip.
Yeah, really cool that you get to do that.